We now join a team battle already in progress. Asaka using her Aqua Force going up against Dhan and his Revengers. This is 4v4 Gunslinger against AE Absolute Empire. And at grade 2 we have Magnum Assault, new unit to the game because update happened. This is actually the first team battle of the update. And we have Blaster Dark, Revenger Abyss killing the starter. That starter would have been a good way to search for grade 3s and give Asaka Stride Fire. That is the reason why he's there. And that is the new critical trigger. If it boosts the Maelstrom on the 4th battle, the opponent is unable to call grade 0s as Guardians. Combined with that, Glory Maelstrom's ultimate break, you can only call grade 0s as Guardians, so it makes it pseudo-unblockable outside of intercepts. The big thing about this unit, though, and something that a lot of people don't realize, part of the reason why it's not all that awesome, is that the only way you're gonna actually... It shuffles itself back into the deck afterwards. So it's literally a one and done deal. If you don't kill him with that attack, then you're pretty much screwing yourself. Grade 3. Dan rides to Mordred Phantom, does not stride. And speaking of stride, we got new Cray Elementals. We have the Avatar, Atmos, which Counterblast 1 gives itself 10,000 power when it attacks. Since it's hitting for 26, a 5k boost makes it 31. That means it can hit for 41k without much of a problem. Pretty much perfect guard or get hit. Doesn't gain criticals or anything, but it still can be a problem for the clans that are able to take a lot of advantage of when those units hit. We also have the Blizzard Elemental, whose name I actually don't know off the top of my head. Counterblast 1 and flip up a G unit in your strides in your G zone. Doesn't matter which one it is. But once you do, it gains 5,000 power for every unit that is flipped up. Very good way to have extremely high power later in the game when you're doing a lot of strides. Of course, most decks that do a lot of strides and are going to be doing a lot of strides in a turn have their own strides anyway. And while I'm saying this, Dan uses Legion. Gonna do a Phantom Blast or Abyss turn. He actually used Blackwing Swordbreaker, Soul Blast, and Draw in order to give himself Legion. He wouldn't have had Legion had that not happened. So, really smart way to make use of Break Ride. Cost him an extra Counterblast. Cost him the Counterblast power, but doesn't really matter. No guards of Vanguard, 37k. No criticals, but a draw trigger does appear, goes to the rear. Asaka gets a trigger as well. Gonna help with defense if she actually wants to guard. Drops the perfect guard. Discards a perfect guard. And no critical appears, so Asaka can take this. She also has a grade 3 in hand, can use it for stride if she really wants to. And that's exactly what's about to happen. And she uses Marine General of the Sky and Earth, Lambros, which its ability, when it attacks, as long as it's the 4th battle, you can flip up a copy of itself from your G-Zone, and both your front row units stand. If you happen to have at least 2 face-up G units after doing that, then they both gain 10,000 power. Now, obviously, she can't have 2 face-up G units on the field at the time this is happening because, as you can see, this is her first stride, so there's only the 1. Also, it has the power to flip up not 2 front row units, I'm sorry. It's just 2 units. So she can choose to flip up back row. And she gets 3 triggers out of it. 33k attack and a perfect guard. Forced Dan to use a lot of perfect guards in that turn, though. And Asaka got a lot of triggers for the sake of guard. Not only that, but the unit on this side, Blue Storm Soldier, Rascal, Sweeper, if it attacks on the first battle and your Vanguard is a Maelstrom, then it actually does change positions with what's behind it. Not only that, but it gains 2,000 power when it attacks, as long as you have Maelstrom as the Vanguard. So with Reverse Maelstrom, it means she can get 4 battles and keep 1 standing for the sake of her Maelstrom Reverse's Limit Break. $42k from that unit. Unfortunately, she dropped a perfect guard for her perfect guard in the last turn, so she probably doesn't have a perfect guard now. She has to no guard. Dan gets a critical and a heal, and Asaka can't. And Asaka knows it's over, and another heal. First round goes to Dan. Unfortunate turn of events for Asaka. Shadow Paladins just do really well against this sort of deck. So, on to the next battle.